We are Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing episodes of The Walking Dead beyond the Walking Dead universe. I'm your host, David Cameo, and I'm joined by Sharon D, aka Blazy Gardner, and Bridget, ko-fi.com/Punky Brewster. That's Punky Bruiseter. And Takira already says, guys, I'm not okay. And with that, everybody, have a good night. See you later.
Yeah, none of us are okay.
Right.
Bye.
We're reacting to, we're going to be reacting to the 6th episode of The Last of Us, titled Kin, as in relative kin. Charity was just saying before this podcast, before we got on here, probably a couple hours ago, maybe. It's like, yeah, the title for this episode is really weird. And I was like, I wanted to, is there a particular, this is just like kin? You're like, what?
Okay, so no, there was a movie like back in the 90s, I think, called Kin, and it had Bill Paxton in it, and they were like backwoods Appalachian people or something, and they were like all killing. I don't know, it was just weird. And every time I hear the word kin, that's what I think of first. So that kind of popped into my head. I was like, that's a weird title.
I see what you're saying. Well, tonight, since we are reacting to this episode, we're not going to give you the deeper cuts, or we're going to try not to. It's going to be like an effort not to tear this episode apart, because lately what we've been trying to do with we've been talking a lot behind the scenes about how we want to approach these episodes and how we want to approach future episodes of any kind. And as far as The Last of Us goes, we've been trying to do a reaction episode, reaction live stream, and then like a full, let's zero in on the details breakdown. And at the end of the day, we end up going for an hour on each. And I just started a timer that's already at 13 minutes and 30 seconds and counting down. So what we're going to do is you're going to hear it in your ears once the timer's up, and we're going to sign off. But we want you to lead the conversation, Takira, particularly who's on right now. I want to get your impressions. So far, Takira says, I am not okay. And me, I am all sorts of... This episode was a lot. We went through It seems like we went through a lot. It's a 59-minute runtime, and really, literally, it delivered 59 minutes worth of content. 10 o'clock rolled around, and it was just all show. And not like previous weeks where they had said it was going to be like a 49-minute runtime or something like that, and then it ends 40 minutes in, and because there's that extra content, the credits, the preview for the next episode, which I didn't watch. I mean, it's our job to get back to you.
Either.
So
I didn't either.
Because we want to set up, we want to be here for you guys. So Takira says, I thought we would see his brother for more than 45 seconds. I mean, I thought we saw him enough, in this episode, don't you think? Or
It was an okay amount.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like every episode is an effort not to detract too much from Ellie and Joel. However, you've got long time, and that was like an insular episode.
Yeah.
For Frank and Bill.
Hi, Mitchell.
Hey, Mitchell's
saying
Mitchell.
hi, and then he's gonna leave right away.
Oh, I see.
As per his usual MO.
Yep. Yep. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you when we break this thing down, which I think, I don't know, Bridget, let's talk about this live in the meantime so that everybody gets their questions and thoughts and feelings out. But
okay.
I was thinking, should we go back to pre-recorded full breakdowns for this one? I don't know. I like going live. It makes the editing a little bit easier, but I don't know.
I would say I just stick with what we've been doing. I mean, like I said, like a week ago, we're already like halfway through this season.
For more than half.
It'd be a little bit weird to switch it up now. Let's just keep going. Let's just blow through the rest of this, and then
let's parlay that into 1883 speak, right? It's don't change horses in the middle of the river.
We've been doing that almost every week.
People die.
Wow.
Don't change horses in the middle of the river.
But
no.
We're not in.
And if he tells you to go all the way through the river, you don't stop. Right, Sam Elliott says so.
Oh, I would listen to him. Full tilt. Sam Elliott's the
Who
man.
wouldn't listen to Sam Elliott? This is completely gotten off track.
The people on the show apparently.
Sometimes the bar eats you. Sorry. No? Yeah, right? I got it.
Yeah.
It's a Big Lebowski, everybody, just so you know. Anyway. Some people don't. I mean, we're getting to that point in our lives right now. People don't know the Big Lebowski.
I know. And nobody ever knows what I'm talking about. It's fine.
I feel like we're like you, me, and Sharon. We're like the Joel of this podcast, relaying our
Definitely.
information to a bunch of Ellies.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
so contractor. Anyway.
So
That was how I loved
Dennis's-
that everyone loves contractors because they do not.
That was Dennis' favorite line too.
So yeah, we're gonna have to. That's how it all starts. We're gonna have to. I know you're not gonna want to hear this. That's the nice contractor.
I liked the couple at the very beginning. They were hilarious.
Oh, it was my favorite part of the episode. It was so funny. It was so funny. It was so good.
I was triggered a little bit when they got to the dam, the hydro dam, because I was like, she's like, damn, and I'm like, oh, not this shit again. I can't with this shit. I don't need a whole like slew of jokes like we had. Okay, by the way, in our breakdown last week, Thomas had like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes straight worth of dad pun jokes.
Yes.
And I was just like, I loved it. Objectively funny. But I was just like, if they keep doing this on the show, I don't know how I can handle this. I'll deal with it, but anyway. Sorry, go on. That was just me being triggered. My bad.
Well, Takira says it's probably just because I thought his brother would travel with him. Just think I kind of thought that was what was going to go on too. I'm not at this point yet in the video game, so I don't have like a firm timeline in my head right now. I'm along for the ride, same as any other schmo right now watching this TV show.
Right. Well, you should tell them why.
Because as it turns out, the part that was broken into 2 episodes, episode 4 and 5, so the Kathleen / Hunters storyline is so long in the video. So long in the video game. I cannot. It is so long, you guys. It's so many portions, and Henry and Sam, they're with you past that. So I'm like nowhere near where this story got to.
You thought you were like riding on Easy Street before.
Yeah, I was like, just an hour and 45 minutes gameplay, and I'm on course with the episodes. No, I was just telling Dave that I have to do a 30-minute play like every day for the next week in hopes that I can get closer to where we are, with potentially this being the end of the first game into the second game. I'm not 100% sure at this moment.
Right. You were really concerned that we're careening close to the end of what part 1 of video games would be.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might change my tune once I play a little bit further, but given the information I have right now, that was kind of what I was led to believe. So I was a little fast. I mean, if we could just calm down, that'd be great. We could just chill out. Why don't you just make up another episode? We can just like waste another episode of made up stuff.
What happened to episode 10? Guys, the first episode was combined with the second. Anyway, Takira says, I loved Rutina Wesley's reaction to Ellie. Who was Rutina Wesley? Was that...
Is that the...
Maria, probably.
Maria's Tommy's wife, apparently. We're all
Takira, who is that? Can you tell us?
She'll tell us. She'll get us. She'll get us. Well,
yes, that's who it. That's
Okay.
who it is.
Well, speaking of reactions, I mean, I liked. Let's start with the basics. I like this episode. What about you guys?
I mean, it's one of those slow burn episodes, not a wham bang like last week's.
2
but
episodes.
kind of like, like post Bill and Frank, you had a little slower episode, and then you had last week, and then you had another slower episode.
Yeah, that
And
makes sense.
It gives you a chance to catch your breath after the holy shit of the previous episode, and you get more information. And it did move the story along. I mean, we've gotten to Wyoming, and it's moving along, but it was a slower episode, but that was good because it's not all it doesn't all have to be action. There's a little bit of action, a little bit of, when they surrounded him on the horses and everything, and a little bit of tension, and that it was good. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I think Joel got a really big reveal. I don't know about reveal, but like we got to see Joel in a different light, and him, and for a change, it wasn't all about Ellie emoting in her own way, whether humorously or obviously being afraid, but kind of being, you know, Ellie about everything. Oh, I'm not afraid. You're obviously afraid. Joel, you get to see him have panic attacks. You get to see him really, really vulnerable this episode. And then I really never thought that I would see Joel in kind of like a state where he was just letting all the beans spill in front of Tommy. I didn't expect that at all. I thought he would be
I didn't
Joel
either,
until the day
actually.
he died, to the moment he died.
I feel like he in Tommy, he has somebody he can, deep down, he knows he can trust. And
can
so
break
he
down in front
finally
of
can
him.
break down and let it out, because Tommy's seen him at his worst already after Sarah died. So he already knows the worst. And
Oh,
so he's
wow.
already seen it. So, Tommy is the one person that he can let his guard down with.
Yeah.
They have a very unique relationship too, because I feel like it's, for all the years, I'm assuming right now, so join me on this ride. For all the years that I kept having this in the back of my mind, for all the years that Tommy probably had to recover from Desert Storm, and Joel being there for him, it was like this really great opportunity for Tommy. And I didn't think this would really happen, given the fact that people suck. And his own, and the title is kind of like one of those things where, like, oh, kin, obviously the person who loves me and loves me back by blood, by right, by all accounts, by definition. Oh, they're going to subvert the title. He's going to betray him, because the Maria says the only people that can betray are the people that you trust. And so, like, I thought, oh, Tommy's going to betray him, pretty much. And
We've
then
been
this
so
happens.
conditioned.
We're
We've
so
been so
conditioned for The Walking
conditioned.
Dead. Right, but did you? Well, so let's start with, did you feel the way I did? Because
Yep.
thank you. I felt
Yep.
a little
Well,
crazy there.
I
For
didn't
a
feel it
second.
out of Tommy so much, but I felt it out of Maria. I was like, Maria's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
Maria's
She's gonna turn on him.
question. Yeah, she's gonna question Ellie until Ellie spills the beans and blah blah blah. I was like, that's what it's gonna be, and then they're gonna not let him leave or something. I was like, I thought something like that was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
I think I'm actually broken because of The Walking Dead. Because everybody's like, this show is so great. And I've been like, this show is fine. I haven't I mean, like, episodes are
How dare you?
good,
I'm kidding. Okay,
but
go
I
ahead.
haven't been like, nothing has grabbed me like season 1, episode 1 of The Walking Dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, not a single episode of this has grabbed me in that same way. And the tension in this episode was good. This was probably one of the better episodes. I think this was probably one of my favorites out of what we've seen so far. There's some great character development, but I'm not there, guys. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm broken. I don't know if I can never like another TV show as much now.
You're like
Am I
the people that I
desensitized?
continually criticize
fucking
that likes only
jaded.
The Walking Dead. Just
I'm
kidding.
just like,
She's
I'm
jaded.
jaded now. Yeah, I'm jaded. No, it was good. It was good, but like I'm never like so worried. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know. Nothing about
Yeah.
it's given me like huge anxiety or made me yell at the TV or gasped aloud. Like nothing about it. Even when the pit, because I knew that was coming. There was no way that wasn't going to happen.
The pit, just be
That
more.
we saw the pit. Well, what other pit?
You're
dude?
talking about from the last episode.
There's
You
been
can't.
one pit.
Well, Frank was in a pit, so let's be more.
Oh, okay. There's been two
Thank
pits.
you.
Sorry.
I was like,
sorry.
I was thought of Frank. I'm like, nothing could have prepared me for Frank falling in the pit.
No.
Huh?
No, the pit of
Right.
clickers.
The
and,
sinkhole that
and-
the infected
Yeah,
emerged from,
like, it was
like spiders.
They gave us so many clues that it was so obvious that that was what was going to happen.
Right.
And I feel like nothing has been really like a huge shock so far. Everything's been really like, that makes sense. The Shiv in Joel is probably the biggest shock that I've felt so far in
That's
this
fair.
series.
Yeah, I did not see that coming either. Because they're
No,
kind of
I
like,
didn't.
Ellie kind of does kind of frame it very simply. She says what the audience is thinking. We've been on Easy Street this whole time for this past 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't what was Tommy even worried about? I know. It's like, well, never say that.
Right.
One. Never say. It's like if I could have reached through the television and shook her at that time, I would have been like, "What is wrong with you? You never say that."
I just stopped our timer, by the way, just letting you know.
Okay.
That's like a loose timer. That means
Okay.
we should come
I'm
to a
sorry.
close.
No, because I'm like,
No, but you're right. No, I
completely
think you
veering
need to
us
say
off
what
into
you
a
need to
different
say.
thing.
Yeah.
Right? Am I alone in this? Am I alone in this
I
feeling?
mean, so I'm just like the opposite of you because I just fall in love with every show totally and wholly.
Oh,
when I
every
get
episode,
into
you
it.
mean?
And I mean, well, I mean every show. Like I'm into Yellowstone, and I am totally
Oh.
wholly into Yellowstone right now. And this show is on, and I'm into it, and I am totally wholly into it. And I was shocked. Of course, I didn't know what was coming. Well, I mean, I guess I did. The what you know what you were talking about, the pit. I mean, I still was like, oh shit, because they came running out so fast, and it was like So I mean, like it gets me. It gets me.
Like you know it's
But
coming, but you don't know how big.
Yeah, I just fully fall in love with every show I.
I'm dead inside. I'm dead
Don't
inside.
open
Something
her.
has ruined me.
Don't open her.
Don't dead Bridget inside.
I don't know what's going on. What's happening to
No,
me?
I can identify with what you're talking about. I don't know. There's two parts to the way I'm thinking, how I can relate to what you're saying is that the way I've put the show is that it's very, in a sense, simple yet elegant in terms of writing and execution. It's not difficult to follow. What we said last week was how you're not spending your brain matter following all these different storylines because every new character that you get introduced to is either killed or is not on the show really. Like even Tommy in this episode, you get to see him in this
Maybe
one episode.
I'm finding
he's gone
it
the next.
like maybe I'm finding it to be like understimulating in that way because like that is every show that I watch, like including now, you know, like Sharon and I have been talking incessantly about Yellowstone, like any opportunity that we have, together. And regardless if anyone we're with has watched it, we just talk about it in front of them.
Right.
And
including me.
Yeah, like including Dave.
Not one episode.
Just watch it already.
any.
So,
Sorry.
but that does have like a million storylines as well. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it.
It does on the main show, but the two spin-offs are pretty much singular storylines.
Kind of like House of the Dragon to Game of Thrones.
Right.
It's like,
and that's weird, right? Because like, and I think back to things like, you know, like my favorite like content in this genre, like Dawn of the Dead, the original, you know, like the 1978 Dawn of the Dead, my all-time favorite movie, right? Like it's a linear storyline, but the tension is so good the whole time that it's like captivating to me. Like, same with 28 Days Later, right? One of the best like zombie movies.
Right.
I don't even want to hear the infected.
It set the bar though.
Same
really.
thing with this, right? Like this is infected, they're not zombies, whatever. That whole thing.
So let me go ahead. Sorry. You're going to finish your thought.
I was just gonna say, like that hooked me immediately. There were so many moments that were just like surreal and terrifying and silent, and I'm not getting that from this, and I just feel like I don't know. Maybe it's the game. Maybe it's playing the game that's like ruining it for me.
Could be. I mean, the game is pretty overstimulating. You're immersed in it. Here,
and I'm like anxious the whole time, and then I'm watching it, but I've already seen stuff that's gonna happen, so I'm like, eh.
Well, the good news is that like The Last of Us isn't trying to be a lot of things. I think really it is being dramatically centered or dramatically engaged in the drama between at least these two protagonists, if not, I was gonna say like the greater universe, but really we're really just trying to grapple with everything around and centered around the environment around these two characters. Everything that happens outside of these two people just goes right, all that drama goes right back into their relationship. And so it's very easy to be understimulated and underwhelmed when your head is trying to figure out what is this genre. And it really comes back to even some of the things we said about The Walking Dead, which is, guys, it's just a drama a drama, not even a suspense. It's not a horror. It's wrapped in a candy coating of typical zombie horror, but like updating the genre.
Yeah.
Right. But in a way, at least with this series, is that we're not grappling with whole communities trying to. No, we're just grappling with a relationship, a dramatic relationship with these two people trying to have. There's found family, but it's just these two people. It's no more, no less. It would be like Rick and Carl, right? If we had just Rick and Carl on The Walking Dead and everybody else around us pours in their drama into just these two people, we'd have what we're looking at now. I mean, I'm boiling it down to an nth degree, but there's a whole other side of this coin, which is, yeah, Bridget, you're right. We're not the right audience for this show in some ways, right? I feel like, and when I say this, I look to Sharondy, and I feel like this show is in a sense rewriting or undoing some of the, maybe let's call it the damage The Walking Dead has done. It gets me so far. It's the thing I like about it is that it's gotten me to undo some of the thinking that I've rewired in my head about we've got to pull together and be the thing and the guy who does the community thing and I'm the Rick in this relationship. No, everybody sucks, and these two people are trying to be the best of a bad situation that we can maybe get behind. Right? They steal the rabbits in this episode that the couple, the elder gentleman caught.
They were so funny.
She only stole one.
Yeah,
She
she
should
only
have
took
stole
one.
two.
I thought she stole all three.
No,
No,
only
she
took
stole
one.
one. Because later after they eat, she's like, I should have stolen two.
Okay. Gotcha. I thought she stole three.
I
She's
guess
like, I
that's-
should have just taken the two. I feel bad about that. That's anyway, whatever.
No. Like she had regrets about she didn't thieve enough. I guess that makes sense if I kind of look at it that way. And let me just read what Takira has to say because she's
Okay,
like,
I was going to say
chiming
that
in
too.
about this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I needed a break from Heart Attack City this week, so I was grateful. So your comment here is what spurned this whole thing because I was like, I haven't felt Heart Attack City once with this, so that's where that
I've
came from.
had more consternation with this episode than prior episodes.
Am I the only one that wants to yell at Joel for Ellie, but then she totally handles it on her own? Then I'm like, oh yeah, it's Ellie. Yeah. I mean, I was irritated with him, but I'm not going to get into this now. I will definitely get into this tomorrow when we cover all the rest of it. But I sided with Joel in that situation, and I'll get into it later. But so I didn't.
Our full reaction. Okay.
Yes. So you're gonna tune in, so you're gonna hear my opinions that you probably don't like because now I'm like,
don't worry, Sharondy and Dave will issue their opinions.
Everyone's like, please don't bring her back. I can't help but bring some of The Walking Dead with me when I watch The Last of Us, but I'm not expecting anything, and I think that makes the show better for me. Even things like the pit that we knew was coming, I still screamed and was like, oh shit. I'm trying to take the show in open-minded, and I've been really loving it. I went in open-minded for sure. But now I'm starting to think maybe the gameplay is really just
Screwing
jacking
with
it
you.
up for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your brain keeps thinking you want to see what happens. You kind of want to see what happens when in the big screen, technically.
And it's not even that. It's just like when I'm living through it in my own play, it's tense and I'm nervous and I'm like, my anxiety is riding really high.
You have a stake
and then when I'm just watching it, I'm like, meh. And also, I just played it, so I'm like, or you know what happens. so maybe that has something to do with it.
I will say one of the scenes in this episode is line for line, almost visual by visual from the game, and that's when Joel and Ellie have that talk about leaving her behind, and it is a shot for shot thing from the games, line by line too.
There's so many of those.
Yeah.
So far in the show.
That one is
so
kind of
many
like the pivotal, almost turning point of the show, because you get so far, and especially after Joel has his heartfelt moment with Tommy, it's like she somehow, this annoying little girl turns everything that we think is development for Joel, just right back around. But she also, just like with Tommy, is the bigger man, comes to Joel and says, even though Joel said some stupid shit too, he's the bigger man, comes to Joel, says, that's not fair. That's not fair. Sarah was my niece. I shouldn't have said what I said to you. And he becomes Joel later on, because of that, maybe not, but he becomes the bigger man. He's the adult anyway. He should. Comes to Ellie and says, that's not fair. You knew that. I shouldn't have said that to you. You came to me saying, I'm afraid, and I'll just be more afraid without you. So I'm going to give you a choice, even though I think Tommy's the right call. She goes, when are we going? When are we going, old fart? Let's go. Let's get, as you would say in your backwards Texas accent. So that's how she said it on the show. Good night, everybody.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. And good night.
Let's see what else Takira says for a second. Takira says, it's kind of like when I read a book right before I watch the movie for it, and the movie is a bit underwhelming. That's exactly it. Yeah, it's kind of like...
That is exactly how I feel, Takira. That's exactly how I feel.
Only the movie
sad.
is more exciting in a sense, though, right?
Yeah,
it's more engaging.
Well, I'm just sad about it because, like, you know me, Dave. This is my wheelhouse, dude. These are the things I love, and I'm like, meh.
But it's also like
about it. So it's
you
really
have a
disappointing.
you also come at it from the vantage point of horror. That's your thing.
Yeah,
it's totally your thing, and so. There's a built-in expectation. It's the same complaint most people had about, where's the infected? It's been an episode and a half and I haven't seen infected. And then all of a sudden, a ton of infected came on screen. You're like, this is nice. This is great.
I just want to say, for people who are complaining about the lack of infected, there's this movie called Jaws. You might have heard of it. And shark was supposed to be in the movie a whole hell of a lot more, but the mechanical shark wouldn't work. So they made the change where you rarely saw the shark, and all you had was the anticipation in the music to scare you.
The shark was in the faces of all the people. It's kind of it is kind of like birds too. Like you get a sense that everybody's afraid of the birds. Hitchcock's The Bird. That's an even older film. But that you do get some of them up close, but that's not the point.
You don't always have to see the monsters to make them scary.
Exactly, and sometimes the monsters are people.
No, you don't. There's great horror movies where you like hardly ever see what it is that you're like afraid of. But
guess what?
Time's up.
The Walking Dead is people.
I thought that was Soylent Green.
Yeah, Soylent Green is
Thank
people.
you. Mm-hmm. That's another old movie I actually literally just talked about today in reference to The Last of Us.
We're all old.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
and guess
who cares about our opinions anyway?
Guess what? It's time for bed, everybody. So thank you, Takira, for joining us for this reaction video. We just wanted to get on and mostly bounce things off of you for a change, because we usually kind of command. We just talk. We just like talking. That's what we do. And sometimes we forget that, like, it's just a reaction video, everybody. Let's not get into it too much. And then we do get into it too much.
Get excited.
We do. We love talking about this stuff. And actually, the more casual we get to talk about it, the more we just keep going. Because we don't have to stick to we don't have to try to stick to a tight regimen of, let's move on to the next point. Everybody. So I appreciate you coming by, Takira. And for those of you who are watching on replay, I appreciate you coming on here too. This reaction, we decided this week to make this reaction a streamable, exclusive only, basically YouTube, but it is on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch and Instagram. We'll be posting at least the teaser to Instagram. So people can watch on YouTube. We want to draw people that direction. So thank you for joining us. We will be making a mention in the podcast, the audio podcast, that if they want to watch our reaction to this episode, our initial thoughts and feelings, and your feedback, Takira mostly, basically, because she bothered. Where's Lois? Lois, you're a little late, Lois.
Oh, Lois is late. Real late.
No, she wants to go to bed. She's tired. She has things to do. Lois is a very important lady. A lot of farting to do.
Aw, Takira. She said I would never miss an episode with you guys on purpose. I may be more excited for this than the actual show.
Thank you, Takira.
My heart.
Oh,
She also says before that she says, is that how you feel? But if I saw The Infected all the time, I get desensitized too fast. I mean, it's basically what it feels like sometimes. I remember zombies used to completely gross me out. Now I've seen every damn kind of zombie there is. Lol. But thank you, Tigara. So with that, everybody, let's call it a night. I've been your... Well, listen, if you like what you heard, obviously you can always head out to ratethispodcast.com/squawkingdead. 5 stars and eggplant is all you need to know to show that you love us. But tell us what you liked. Tell us what you didn't like. But remember to tell us after every episode. And you could also do in the comments to this video, wherever you are watching it, be it Facebook and Twitch. I don't know if there's a comment system in Twitch, but there's YouTube and there's the replies to this Twitter
Bridget
video.
is stupid and wrong.
So self-critical. Meanwhile, all the comments going to be like hashtag Bridget is right. Bridget's never wrong.
Yes, trend
Dave,
it. Trend it.
Hashtag Dave, shut up and let the ladies talk. See, we're all self-critical. But if you really like what you've heard, obviously the best thing you can do is follow us. Just follow us. It's free on either ko-fi.com/squawkingdead or patreon.com/squawkingdead. It is a little signal to let us know that you like what we're doing and you kind of want to get the inside track on that next rung of the inside track on what we're doing. I mean, outside of liking, subscribing, and sharing on all the little platforms that we have out there, especially YouTube. But if you do decide to buy us a coffee, you'll get 30 days of supporter back content, which contains the unedited episode recordings and anything that we have locked behind the Tippers security thing, which is a lot of things, by the way. If you do end up buying us a coffee on ko-fi.com/squawkingdead, just head to the shop already. Just go there. There's probably tons of free downloads. The gallery, tons of free downloads. Head to the post section and start scrolling because there's tons of unedited episodes and some feedback that we like to get. Yeah, I mean, you missed Better Call Saul season 6. We got your feedback on whether we should do it. We did it. Just letting you know. But if you join a membership tier on either Ko-fi or Patreon for as little as $1 a month, you'll get that plus Discord access and a whole host of other perks for members only. With that, everybody, I've been your host, David Cameo, and I was joined by Sharon, a.k.a. Lacey Gardner, and Bridget, ko-fi.com/Punky Brewster. That's PUNKYBRUISETER. And Takira in the chat. And she says, love you guys. He said, love you guys. Charity says, love you guys. Thanks for coming, Takira. Face red heart shape Takira gave us. Have a good night,
Love
everybody.
You, Takira.
Love you, Takira.
Bye.
This is Takira show, just like it used to be the Mitchell shows.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. We'll see you soon. We'll see you very soon. Like tomorrow soon.